G'day YouTube, Warbles on a lot here, and I'm about to ride to town. I went to town yesterday and the camera failed on the way in, but I did get the trip back, so I have already got a trip back from town in the can, and I hope to upload this one and then the trip back. So off we go. Basically at the moment I've got 107 kilometres on this with 2 trips to town. It has retrieved 3 loaves of bread and 2 litres of milk. And today I'm off to town to get a phone recharge. Those little bicycle brake blocks do a lot of hard work on this thing coming down the hill. So we're setting out with 99% battery capacity. It was 100 when I charged it, but that was yesterday afternoon. And you've got to expect a fully charged battery will lose 1% when it cools down overnight. So the figures seem to be, yesterday I went to town, it was a 35 kilometre trip, 15 kilometres from my front door to the post office, 24 minutes. Now, I usually used to budget on 15 to 20 minutes between leaving my front door and getting to town in the car, because you got to stop and open the gate and stop and close the gate. Well, to be honest, I usually have a bit of a pee at the bloody gate post, so allowing for the fact that 24 minutes door to post office involved starting out with the gate already open and driving through it and driving back through it, you might as well say we've gone from 15 minutes going to town to half an hour going to town. I did 5 kilometres around the town, visiting various shops, and quite honestly I went to places that I normally would not have visited because I was reluctant to burn the fuel to drive around the town just for a minor errand. So I never got the errands done. Yesterday I got 3 or 4 of them. And then from Video Easy, or the shop in Glen as they call themselves now, back out was 16 kilometres, again 24 minutes. So if you allow 48 minutes on the driving to town, or riding to town and coming back, plus 10 or 12 minutes in town, I was basically riding the thing for nearly an hour. And when I got back home, I had 42% of the battery capacity remaining. Christ, that bloody switch on the blinker light sensitive. Very difficult to centre it again. Okay, so that's 44, 45, and I try to keep it on 45 for maximum bloody range. At the top of the battery, see, that's 47, 48, but you use a lot more power doing that. So anyway, it took an hour and 41 minutes to recharge from 42% to 100%, and I had started out at 94, so hour and 41 minutes to recharge 52% of a battery. And I would say that based on that I can probably do about 50 kilometres absolute range riding it the way I ride it. So if I try and stay within the 40-45 kilometre mark, shouldn't be too bad. It definitely seems to be in its comfort zone with what I want to do with it. I'm doing 44 kilometres an hour up this hill. $49 actually, no 45. I would normally be pedalling my little ass off in about third gear and 15 to 19 kilometres on the Discovery for that hill. And this is the worst, or one of the three worst bits, because I can't ride outside the fog line because there's too much shit. And there's two bits of guardrail that are like that. And all you can do is ride as close as you can to the fog line and hope the cars go around you. And the Yarraford Bridge over the Beardy Waters, it's even worse. Visor down, 48 kilometres an hour. You can only do over 45 on the top 25% of the battery. Back to 45. So rather than fixate on what this can't do, it can't do 100 kilometres an hour and hasn't got a lot of range, I fixate on what it can do. Get me to town and back on 1.5 litres instead of 3.5 litres. Because from what I've seen, the range appears to be, or the fuel burn, 24.64 kilometres per litre. And when I get a smaller generator, I might improve on that. And when I get solar panels, it'll get much better entirely. %, so we've used 7% of the battery to get here. 5 kilometres. And here we come to the Thoughts and Prayers Bridge. Happily there's nothing behind me. guessing in the fullness of the time I'm going to get pretty good at riding along this highway. It creeps up. (49 watt-hours per kilometre. It seems to be my driving style. That L plate on the back number plate, it really does a good job of keeping people off the arse, I've got to say. Only about 1 in 10 actually, you know, holds their line unaltered like that one. Goes past 1 metre off the handlebar edge. This particular driveway here marks the closest I ever got to riding an electric bicycle to town. I worked it out 391 kilometres, average say 20 kilometres an hour. I got maybe 20 hours on the electric bicycle. Now, if all their guide rails were as far away from the bloody fog line as this one is, it would be marvellous. You could easily integrate your slow-speed electric chook chasers with your highway style. And 47 going up this hill. All I can say is the battery must have actually liked having a couple of cycles and being fully charged yesterday. Jesus, just as we're still at 95% power. That's much more good. 94% power and we're like 2/3 of the way to town. And the front forks are only rated to 60, so it gets a little bit squirrely the closer you get to 50. But I'm sitting up and the aerodynamics are making no bloody difference. %, 48 kilometres an hour, 11 kilometres down the track. Bloody amazing. Much better than the first 100 kilometres. Oops, I lied, 83%. Haven't got me reading glasses on. I've got to say the instrument panel is just at a distance where it's hard to focus. Feels as smooth as bloody silk actually. Quite pleasant. So this has turned into what they call a full noise run, full throttle. 79%, 14 kilometres, 47 kilometres an hour. And about here I put the thing in eco mode. So the throttle response is a lot gentler. Well, this is going to make a bit of a mess of the average speed. No. Feel the change when we kick into eco. Okay. ...123 kilometres odometer. Maximum speed 41. Sorry, 41 was average, maximum is 49. Trip 15. We're going to get a time, 23 minutes. And the battery's 77. Okay. Put the gloves off. Open the boiler. And now I will write up my little logbook, assuming that I brought the bloody thing. Actually, no, I didn't. And get on with my shopping. And I think I've captured the trip to town, and I'll post this before I upload the trip back. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Welcome to the Glennis main street. Or perhaps I should take it for a run up and down the main street before I cut the video. Okay, video restarted. There we go, Glennis main street on a Saturday morning. There we go, neighbour doesn't recognise me even when I wave. I had a lot of that yesterday, half a dozen people come up to him, say good day, and they just don't recognise it because he's wearing the Evel Knievel suit. Got it again. Hey, Badge! No, he doesn't know it. How are you?
Alright.
Okay, see if we can get the other side of the main street up. See what a smooth takeoff the eco setting gives? It's stuff like that that I need practice in. Going around corners and circles and roundabouts and working the blinker light switch without mucking it up. And I do want to go to the hardware shop. So that means going back down there. Because with the odd bit of range anxiety, wouldn't mind talking to that bloke, but he's going away and I want to go in here. So 76%. 2 minutes. That'll do. I'm going to go in and talk to him in the shop. So that means I need to get this bloody camera off and get on this light. Warbles on like YouTube. You have a good one. Ciao.